Thank you. Thank you. I am so deeply grateful and appreciative of you taking the time to be here today for this new moon meditation on the 30th of May, 2022. And it's going to be interwoven with a sound healing session. The theme for today is harmonize. So as I'm speaking, I'd love for you to take the opportunity to ensure that you're comfortable. So make sure that you found a very comfortable place to either sit or lie down. And maybe have some water handy as well. And be aware of the temperature, the room temperature that you're in. You know, if you feel that you might get cold, then it'd be important to have a hoodie, a blanket, jumper close by in case you want to put it on. And if you're in a hot environment, then perhaps you want to take care of some ventilation, open a window, have a fan on, just so that once we begin, you're not distracted by your discomfort. So we want to make sure you have everything you need. Lots of cushions. If you're lying down, I recommend that you also put a cushion underneath your knees to help lengthen your lower back and relieve any strain that you might experience during the session. So how is this going to look and feel? What it's going to look and feel like is you're going to hear me talk. I'm going to be taking you through a little bit of a class, I guess one could say. But more than anything, they're prompts for contemplation. They're also a guide of prompting and anchoring words and intentions that are going to be supporting you right now. As I mentioned, this is the new moon, and the new moon is also known as the dark moon. It's when the moon sits in between the earth and the sun. And if you look out in the sky at night, it is extremely dark. You literally do not see a moon. And why it represents, it's a particularly good time for new intentions, planetarily, energetically. If you imagine that when we plant seeds into the earth, right? And this is where new ideas, new life, new concepts are born, hence the setting of intentions. Even as human beings, in fact, living creatures, we're all born from the darkness, right, in our mother's womb. And so something that typically maybe, or even conditioned to be afraid of the dark, actually the darkness is a very powerful place for creation itself. So we're going to be tapping into that. And today's theme in particular, so I'm going to begin. So this new moon, we are exploring the theme of harmonize, harmony. Harmony. We are all here living a really unique life. I love to play with those words, unique. Why, oh, unique life? Because there's only one you, and some of you may have heard me say this before. You may have seen it in some of the content I've written. But I feel it's something that we can always be reminded of, because systems have been built for us to fit in, for us to find common ground. And yes, of course, that's important. We relate, we resonate with each other, we find commonality, camaraderie. But what is equally important, if not more important, is that we don't lose our individual gifts. We have to be very mindful of the word self. We create an identity and a role for ourselves, an ego that tells us who we are, that what we strive for, our dreams and our desires. What we always want to ensure we're doing is that we know that as individuals we are part of a greater whole. We are part of a larger community, like the stars in the sky. When we look at the stars in the sky, you see a constellation of stars. Each star is unique, but yet part of a greater whole, part of the greater galaxy. And we have so much to learn from the stars and nature in itself. One branch has a leaf, one leaf, and each leaf is unique and individual, but it shares the branch with many other leaves, and together they form a beautiful community that creates life together. An incredible tapestry. So it's the same with us. How do we harmonize our experience in life? How do we harmonize our existence? How do we step into the full potential of who we are meant to be, like no other, but in a way that doesn't compromise someone else or another situation? How can we harmonize within ourselves so that we can feel safe and comfortable to be different, to stand out, to hold space for our individuality, whilst holding space for others' individuality, even in times when we do not agree, when we do not see eye to eye, when we have maybe even conflicting views. How do we hold the space for individuality, that which fosters and cultivates and nurtures and expands what we call diversity? How do we bring harmony into life? How do we bring harmony into ourselves? CELLS, ourselves. How do we bring harmony when the body is telling us one thing, the gut is saying yes, the heart is saying absolutely, and the mind is inspired with all the no's possible, all the possible no's? How do we harmonize mind with the heart, and the heart with the body, and the body with the soul? How do we do that? One of the ways we do that is by listening, by being with what is, by stepping into the space of the observer, to observe what our mind is saying, and then to notice the thoughts and the words that we're using. How do they feel in our body, physically? How do the vibrations of the words that we speak influence our emotional body? This is how we harmonize. We harmonize by stepping into this position of the observer to notice, what are my thoughts? What are the words that I'm using in my thoughts? And how do these words affect my physical body? How do they feel? Is there a tightness in my belly? Is there a contraction in my throat that's making it hard for me to speak? Are my eyes feeling heavy, my eyelids feeling heavy, and I'm feeling emotionally tired when I use these words? Could it be that these words are making me shut down in some way? Harmonization begins with awareness. When we can become aware of any misalignments that exist between our thoughts, which are words and energy, and how they influence our physical body, and how these words, these vibrations, these frequencies of sound impact our emotional body. Once I start to notice, once you start to notice, once you start to notice the effects of the words, the vibrations of the words that you're using on your physical body and your emotional body, you can begin to harmonize. You can begin to experiment and play and experience the effects of alternative words, alternative vocabulary that actually liberates the contraction in your body, brings relaxation into your physical body, calms your nerves, soothes your soul, creates expansion in your emotional body, allows you to feel joy and love and peace and serenity. In this new moon, may we set a collective intention to be mindful and aware of the spells that we cast every day. I say spells because words are spells. Words are spells. We spell them. In every given moment in time, we stand within a quantum field. A quantum field. A quantum field you can imagine to be like a hallway that has infinite number of doorways in front of you. Each doorway leads to a very unique outcome depending on a decision that you make. All these options lie before you. Infinite number of doorways. Each doorway looks different. Each doorway has its own unique doorknob. Design is made of a different texture, material, because it leads to a different reality. Infinite potential within this quantum field. So we want to make sure that when we are making this choice to open this door that's going to lead us into a specific outcome, when we're making a decision, that we want to make sure that our mind, our body, and our soul is aligned, that they are harmonized. Not because it's bad when it's not harmonized. It just creates another experience, an experience that's going to lead us back to becoming more aware of harmonization, to become more aware of our power of choice and sovereignty, the impact of our sovereignty, the impact of the power of our sovereignty when we align our thoughts with our physical body and our emotional body, because we are so much more than our thoughts. Harmonize. Like with music, like with these two tones. Harmony. They find each other, they listen to each other, and they find balance within a dance. Sometimes one tone is bigger, broader, wider, and then the other one needs to drop back. So just the same with you, when you're aware, becoming aware of your thoughts and your words, notice how they feel in your body. Experiment, be curious. Where can I pull back? Where can I push forward? Where do I find harmonization in my body? Where that harmonization exists is where I know I'm aligned. When we bring harmonization and harmony into our own system, into our own programming, where we become aware, we awaken, so we're no longer in autopilot. We notice our words, we notice the vibration, we notice the effects that our words have on our body, physical and emotional. We feel into what the soul wants, we feel what is not aligned. When we become so harmonized within ourselves, then we can bring that harmonization to every space that we contribute our presence with. That means in every conversation within our workplace. That means in a conversation with our friends and with our family. That means circumstances and conversations that were once fraught with conflict and resistance because there was disharmony. Through our presence, we already shift the energy of the relationship. The practice becomes our way of being. The practice of awareness, of our alignment of thoughts, physical body and emotional body, becomes integrated and becomes our way of being and our way of living. So we no longer need to think about it. That is how we function daily. And it's not an autopilot, it's pure awareness. So that when we step into any conversation, into any relationship, we are living consciousness in a full-bodied human experiences with all our senses alive, alert, and receiving information, receiving what you're seeing, receiving what you're hearing, receiving and feeling the tone, the tonality, the intention beyond your own filters. Because you're so plugged in to life itself, all of life, not just through your own lens. So with harmony, you bring harmony. With harmony, you harmonize. And through a deeper listening practice within any conversation, you are able to bring harmony even to the conversation. You notice when someone is activated, when they're speaking from a wound, when they're speaking from a trauma, when they're speaking from being emotionally charged, because of the harmonization within you, you're more able to respond rather than react, and respond with compassion, with love, as you maintain standing your ground, your power, your boundaries, yet in a way that is loving and complementary and that harmonizes with the other. That is the intention that I invite you to set for this new moon, or part of this new moon, is to be harmony, is to bring harmony into every breath. Like when we sing and we harmonize, we listen to music, we listen to harmonies in music. Do, re, mi, harmony, sweet harmony. Where there is harmony, there is peace. How may you bring harmony into the spaces that you reside. I invite you to hold the space for any conflict that's coming up within you right now as we talk about harmony. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a situation, maybe it's a project, maybe it's a conversation. Maybe it's something that's happening in the world right now that you are conflicted about, that you can't bring harmony or find harmony with. This is not about fixing or changing, it's about transcending. It's about transformation. And so we hold the space for it. We hold space for disharmony. So disharmony may be seen, may be felt, and may be witnessed. We invite you to breathe into any disharmony. Disharmony happens as an attachment to a specific outcome, to an attachment to a specific belief of how things must be, should be, that word should. So is there a way that we can observe any disharmony for exactly what it is without trying to change it or fix it? Transformation is more than change. Holding the space for it. Holding space for disharmony. Setting the intention for harmonization. And breathing. Setting intentions to this new moon to be in harmony, to invite harmonization within our system by simply stepping into the space of the observer. You are whole and complete. And by setting intentions, we invite more honey, more nectar, more sweetness, more opportunities for peace and love. We are adding to you who is whole and complete and nothing other than love. And we breathe in together, taking a deep breath through your nose, all the way up to the crown of your head and beyond, imagining a golden thread drawing your head up and tall and long, and then exhaling through the mouth. Keep following with the deep inhales through the nose and exhalation through the mouth. Just noticing what's happening in your body. Being aware that nothing in life is permanent. Everything comes and goes. Disharmony may be present, but it can go and it will go if you allow it. If you set the intention for harmonization, then be ready to observe it come and then go and then return. And the intervals become longer intervals of harmony, smaller intervals of disharmony through the practice of awareness. But first we set the intention. Harmonization. How can my presence, my beingness bring harmony into every situation, into every thought process, into every conversation, into every interaction, and into the way that I live. That is the intention we are setting. So with the chimes that you hear, we wash away any beliefs and any parts of our psyche that are still hanging on to ideas of conflict and resistance. Just focusing on the tones of the chimes. Let them be washed away. During the time of the new moon, it's a beautiful time to write down what you wish to happen, what you intend to happen. Once we get clear on our intentions, what you intend for the next 30 days until the next new moon, then when we focus on harmonization, we're able to notice what it is about the words that we speak, the thoughts that we have, the interactions that we are contributing to, that are actually getting in the way of the intentions that we're setting. That we actually have a big part, the only part to play in seeing these intentions through by bringing awareness to our language. Setting intention for harmonization. And bringing your awareness back into this present moment, back into your body, inviting you to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes gently. As this sound bath and meditation draws to a close, but taking your time, whatever position that you're in right now, whether you're sitting or you're lying down, just noticing how your body is feeling. Setting intentions is such a beautiful practice. You're birthing a new idea. Perhaps it's an old idea that you're revisiting. You're unraveling another layer of who you are to show up in this world, setting these beautiful intentions. Being in harmony, living in flow, and being fully supported for these dreams and ideas that you're looking to create and birth with these new intentions. And in your own time, I invite you to find a comfortable seat. Take a couple of breaths in your own time. And then bringing your palms together in prayer position. We're leaning the back part of your thumb against your sternum, bowing your head gently in honor of your heart. As your heart honors the body honors the spirit, and the spirit honors the body, and the body honors the heart, and the heart honors the mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you for choosing to be here for this new moon meditation today. I look forward to seeing you the full moon meditation on June the 14th. You'll receive the information in your newsletter for those of you who signed up. If not, do find the link or message me for it. Thank you again for your presence. I deeply appreciate each and every one of you for choosing to be a part of this community and for allowing me to realize my calling to deliver these meditations and sound healings to you. Thank you.